Have you ever wondered if the challenges you face are more than mere coincidences? Could they be intricately designed tests, shaping the very essence of your being? Imagine if life itself is a series of divine tests, each one meticulously crafted to guide you towards a profound transformation. Welcome to the journey of transformation, a journey that transcends the physical realm and ventures into the depths of your soul. This is not just a path of external exploration, but an inward odyssey that beckons you to uncover the mysteries of your existence. Here, each step is a test, a divine challenge, inviting you to evolve, to grow, and to emerge enlightened. In this journey, you are not merely a traveler, but a seeker of truth, navigating through a labyrinth of spiritual and existential trials. These tests, though they may appear daunting, are gateways to profound enlightenment, each one offering a unique lesson, a hidden gem of wisdom waiting to be discovered. As we embark on this transformative adventure, remember that the path is not linear. It's a spiral where every twist and turn is an opportunity to delve deeper into the realms of self-awareness and spiritual understanding. Each test we will explore is not just a hurdle to overcome, but a mirror reflecting the intricate facets of your soul. So, are you ready to uncover the deeper meaning behind life's challenges? Are you prepared to embrace the divine tests that await you? Join us on this extraordinary journey as we unravel the 9 divine tests that hold the key to transforming your reality. Test 1. Awakening to self-realization. Embarking on the first divine test, we venture into the realm of self-realization. This is not merely about knowing your name, your profession, or your roles in society. It's a deeper, more profound journey of discovering who you truly are at your core. It's about peeling back the layers of your identity to reveal the essence of your being. The great philosopher Socrates famously declared, "Know thyself." These simple words carry a profound truth. The journey to wisdom begins with understanding oneself. But what does it mean to truly know oneself? It's a quest that goes beyond the surface, diving into the depths of your consciousness, where the true self resides. Wayne Dyer, a modern sage in the realm of self-development, echoed this sentiment. He believed that our true nature is not found in external achievements or possessions, but within our own minds and hearts. He encouraged us to look inward, to connect with our higher selves, and to recognize that our true essence is spiritual, not material. Dr. Joseph Murphy took this concept further, exploring the power of the subconscious mind. He taught that by understanding and harnessing our subconscious, we can unlock our true potential. This is a crucial aspect of self-realization, recognizing that beneath our conscious thoughts and actions lies a deeper, more powerful part of ourselves that shapes our reality. Carl Jung, the father of analytical psychology, introduced the idea of the collective unconscious. He believed that self-realization is not just about understanding our personal psyche, but also about connecting with the universal truths and archetypes that reside within us all. This connection helps us to see that we are not isolated beings, but part of a greater whole. Awakening to self-realization is like embarking on a journey without a map. It requires courage to explore the uncharted territories of your mind and soul. It's about asking yourself the hard questions: who am I? What is my purpose? What are my true desires and fears? The answers to these questions are not found in the external world, but within the quiet whispers of your own being. As you delve into this journey of self-realization, remember that it's an ongoing process. It's not about reaching a final destination, but about continually evolving, growing, and understanding more about yourself and your place in the universe. This is the first test, the foundation upon which the other divine tests are built. It's a journey back to your center, to the core of your being, where all illusions fall away and the truth shines in its unadorned glory. Test 2. Embracing the shadow self. As we journey deeper into our transformative path, we encounter the second divine test. Embracing the shadow self. This test challenges us to confront and integrate the darker, often ignored or hidden aspects of our personality. It's a crucial step in our journey towards wholeness and self-realization. Carl Jung, the Swiss psychiatrist, introduced the concept of the shadow self in his exploration of the human psyche. He described the shadow as the unconscious part of our personality, the aspects of ourselves that we deem negative and therefore we often suppress. These can be traits such as anger, jealousy, or selfishness, which we often try to hide from both the world and ourselves. Jung believed that acknowledging and integrating our shadow is essential for true self-realization. He argued that by denying these aspects, we are only seeing half of our true selves. The process of embracing our shadow is not about giving in to these darker impulses, but about recognizing and understanding them as a part of our whole being. Let's consider a classic anecdote to illustrate this concept. In the ancient Greek myth of Hercules and the Hydra, Hercules was tasked with slaying the Hydra, a monstrous serpent with multiple heads. Each time he cut off one head, 2 more would grow back. It was only when Hercules realized that he must expose the Hydra to the light, rather than fighting it in the dark, that he was able to defeat it. This myth beautifully parallels our struggle with the shadow self. Like Hercules, we must bring our darker aspects into the light of consciousness to truly understand and overcome them. Embracing the shadow self is not an easy task. It requires us to look into the depths of our soul and face what we find there, no matter how uncomfortable. It's about acknowledging that these darker aspects are a part of us and understanding their origins and triggers. This process often leads to a profound sense of liberation and self-acceptance. By integrating our shadow, we become more authentic and whole. We start to see ourselves and the world around us in a more balanced and compassionate way. This test is not just about self-improvement, it's about self-transformation. It's a journey towards embracing the full spectrum of our humanity, both light and dark. As we move forward in our journey, remember that embracing the shadow self is a continuous process. It's a path of constant self-discovery and growth, leading us towards a deeper understanding of ourselves and our place in the world. Test 3. Transcending the Ego. As we continue our transformative journey, we arrive at the third divine test, Transcending the Ego. This test invites us to explore and ultimately transcend the limitations imposed by our ego, the aspect of ourself that is rooted in our identity and personal story. The ego, often misunderstood, is not inherently negative. It is a necessary part of our human experience, helping us navigate the world. However, when left unchecked, the ego can become a barrier to our spiritual and personal growth. It can trap us in a cycle of desire, comparison, and endless striving for validation. Eckhart Tolle, a contemporary spiritual teacher, provides profound insights into the nature of the ego. He teaches that the ego thrives on separation and conflict, constantly seeking to assert itself over others and over our deeper true self. According to Tolle, transcending the ego doesn't mean annihilating it, but rather recognizing its place and not allowing it to dominate our consciousness. Imagine you're in a conversation and someone disagrees with your opinion. The immediate reaction of the ego might be defensiveness or a need to prove yourself right. Transcending the ego in this scenario involves recognizing this impulse, stepping back, and allowing space for different perspectives. It's about realizing that your worth is not tied to being right or having others validate your views. Transcending the ego is a journey towards humility and self-awareness. It involves recognizing that we are more than our thoughts, our achievements, and our social status. It's about connecting with the deeper part of ourselves that observes without judgment, that is connected to others and the world in a meaningful way. Other spiritual teachers also emphasize the importance of this test. They teach us that transcending the ego is essential for experiencing true freedom and inner peace. It's about shifting from a self-centered worldview to a more inclusive and compassionate understanding of our place in the universe. As we move through this test, we learn to observe our egoic tendencies, to understand them, and to gently guide our focus back to our true essence. This process is not about suppression, but about recognition and transformation. It's a path that leads us to a more authentic, peaceful, and connected existence. Test 4. The Art of Nonattachment. As we delve deeper into our journey of transformation, we encounter the fourth divine test, the Art of Nonattachment. This test challenges us to understand and embrace the concept of non-attachment, a principle revered in many spiritual traditions as a path to true freedom and inner peace. Non-attachment is often misunderstood. It is not about indifference or a lack of passion. Rather, it's about finding a balance where we can fully engage with life without being ensnared by our attachments to outcomes, possessions, or even people. It's about experiencing life deeply, yet without clinging to the transient nature of experiences, relationships, and material possessions. Buddhism offers profound insights into non-attachment. The Buddha taught that attachment is the root of suffering. Our cravings and aversions, he explained, tie us to a perpetual cycle of desire and dissatisfaction. By practicing non-attachment, we can break free from this cycle and find a state of equanimity and joy, irrespective of external circumstances. Similarly, Stoicism, an ancient Greek philosophy, teaches the value of non-attachment. Stoics believe in accepting things we cannot control and focusing on our internal responses. They advocate for a life lived in accordance with nature and reason, where happiness is found not in external possessions or achievements but in virtue and wisdom. Imagine a leaf floating down a river. It does not cling to the stones or branches it encounters. It simply flows around them. This leaf is a metaphor for non-attachment. It represents the ability to move through life with grace, accepting joys and challenges with equanimity, not being overly swayed or disrupted by either of them. The art of non-attachment is a practice of mindfulness and conscious living. It involves observing our tendencies to cling and learning to let go, to appreciate the impermanent nature of all things. This doesn't mean we don't care or don't strive for goals. Instead, we learn to pursue our passions and live fully, but without the burden of attachment to a specific outcome. As we embrace non-attachment, we find that our relationships deepen, our stress levels decrease, and our appreciation for life grows. We start living in a state of flow, where happiness and contentment are not contingent on external factors but are a natural state of being. Test 5. Finding solitude in silence. As we journey further along our path of transformation, we arrive at the fifth divine test, finding solitude in silence. This test invites us to discover the profound power and importance of solitude for our inner growth and self-discovery. Solitude, often mistaken for loneliness, is in fact a state of rich self-engagement. It is in these moments of quiet and isolation that we can hear the most profound truths of our being. Solitude offers us a sanctuary where we can disconnect from the noise of the external world and connect deeply with our inner selves. Throughout history, hermits and mystics from various traditions have sought solitude as a means to deeper spiritual understanding. In the Christian tradition, hermits like Saint Anthony retreated into the desert, finding in the silence and austerity a closer communion with God. Similarly, in Hinduism, sages often withdrew to the forest or mountains to meditate and gain wisdom that only solitude could provide. In the modern world, finding solitude can be challenging, yet it is more important than ever. It's about creating a space for ourselves away from the distractions and demands of daily life. This could be as simple as a quiet room, a peaceful walk in nature, or any place where we can be alone with our thoughts. Solitude allows us to pause, reflect, and recharge. It gives us the opportunity to listen to our inner voice, often drowned out by the cacophony of our busy lives. In these moments of silence, we can confront our deepest fears, question our long-held beliefs, and explore our true desires. The practice of solitude is not about escaping from the world, but rather about finding a balance. It's about learning to be comfortable with our own company, to enjoy the richness of our own thoughts and dreams. It's in these moments of solitude that we often find clarity, inspiration, and a deeper understanding of our purpose. As we embrace the test of solitude, we find that we return to our daily lives refreshed and with a new perspective. We become more grounded, more centered, and more attuned to the subtle joys and beauties of life. Solitude, in its essence, is a journey back to the self, a vital step in our path towards enlightenment and self-realization. Test 6. Surrendering to the Divine. As we continue our profound journey, we approach the 6th divine test. Surrendering to the Divine. This test calls us to explore the concept of surrender, a key theme in many spiritual traditions, and a gateway to deeper understanding and connection with the universe. Surrender, in a spiritual context, is often misunderstood. It is not about defeat or passivity. Rather, it is about letting go of our need to control, to understand everything, and to predict outcomes. It's a profound trust and acceptance of the flow of life, recognizing that there is a greater wisdom and order at play around us. The poetry of Rumi, the 13th century Persian mystic, beautifully captures the essence of surrender. Rumi's words often speak of letting go of the ego and falling into the arms of the divine love. He writes, "When you do things from your soul, you feel a river moving in you, a joy. This joy, according to Rumi, comes from surrendering to the divine will, allowing it to guide us in our journey." Other mystical literature from various traditions echoes this sentiment. They teach us that surrendering to the divine is about opening our hearts and trusting that we are being guided, even when the path is unclear. It's about acknowledging that our individual perspective is limited and that there is a greater cosmic plan that we are a part of. Surrendering to the divine also involves letting go of our attachments to specific outcomes. It's about doing our part, then stepping back and allowing the divine to work in ways we might not understand. This doesn't mean we become passive. Rather, we become co-creators with the universe, acting with intention but without attachment to the results. This test is perhaps one of the most challenging, as it requires a deep level of faith and trust. It asks us to let go of our deepest fears and to trust in something beyond ourselves. But it is also one of the most rewarding, as it leads to a profound sense of peace and fulfillment. As we embrace the test of surrendering to the divine, we find that our journey becomes less about striving and more about being. We start to see the beauty and grace in the unfolding of life, and we open ourselves to the miracles that occur when we let go and trust in the divine. Test 7. Cultivating divine patience. As we navigate further along our path of enlightenment, we encounter the 7th divine test, cultivating divine patience. This test invites us to embrace patience not just as a virtue, but as a fundamental aspect of our spiritual and personal growth. Patience in many spiritual traditions is more than just waiting. It's an active engagement with life, a deep understanding that everything unfolds in its own time. It's about developing a harmonious relationship with time, where we are not in a constant battle against it, but rather moving with it in a dance of coexistence. Stoicism, the ancient philosophy of inner peace and resilience, offers valuable insights into the practice of patience. Stoics teach us to focus on what is within our control and to accept what is not. They view patience as a form of wisdom, a recognition that we cannot rush the natural course of events, and that true strength lies in our ability to maintain tranquility in the face of life's inevitable challenges. Similarly, Taoism, an ancient Chinese philosophy and spiritual tradition, sees patience as a way of aligning with the natural flow of the universe. Taoists believe in the principle of Wu Wei, which translates to non-actions or effortless action. This doesn't mean inaction, but rather taking action in accordance with the natural flow of life, understanding that there is a time for movement and a time for stillness. Imagine a gardener tending to a garden. The gardener plants the seeds, waters them, and then waits patiently for them to grow. They understand that no amount of impatience will hasten the growth of the plants. This metaphor beautifully illustrates the essence of divine patience. It's about nurturing, caring, and then trusting in the natural process. Cultivating divine patience is a challenge in our fast-paced world, where instant gratification is often the norm. However, by practicing patience, we open ourselves to a deeper appreciation of the present moment. We become more attuned to the subtle changes and growth that occur over time, and we develop a sense of peace and contentment in the knowledge that things will unfold as they are meant to. As we embrace this test, we find that patience becomes a companion on our journey, teaching us resilience, understanding, and a deeper connection to the rhythm of life. It's a transformative process that enriches our experiences and deepens our understanding of the universe and our place within it. Test 8. Overcoming earthly desires. As we advance on our spiritual odyssey, we are presented with the 8th divine test, overcoming earthly desires. This test challenges us to transcend the allure of material desires and to seek fulfillment in deeper, more meaningful pursuits. In Buddhism, the concept of overcoming desire is central. The Buddha taught that desire is the root of suffering, and liberation lies in freeing oneself from the grip of these desires. It's about understanding the impermanent nature of material pleasures and finding contentment in simplicity and mindfulness. Sufism, the mystical branch of Islam, also offers profound insights into transcending earthly desires. Sufis seek a direct experience of the divine, often through love and devotion, viewing the material world as a distraction from the spiritual path. The poetry of Rumi, a renowned Sufi mystic, is replete with metaphors of longing for the divine, transcending worldly desires in pursuit of a deeper spiritual union. Christianity, too, speaks to this challenge. The teachings of Jesus Christ emphasize the value of spiritual wealth over material riches. The parable of the rich young man, who is challenged to give up his possessions to follow a spiritual path, illustrates the difficulty and the transformative power of letting go of material attachments. Imagine walking through a market filled with an array of dazzling goods. Each item promises happiness and satisfaction. Overcoming earthly desires is like walking through this market without becoming attached to the goods on display. It's about recognizing the transient joy these material objects bring and seeking a more lasting, profound sense of fulfillment. This test is not about rejecting the material world entirely, but about finding a balance. It's about engaging with the world, enjoying its beauties and pleasures, but not becoming ensnared by them. It's about understanding that our deepest needs and desires are not fulfilled by material things, but by connections, experiences, and a sense of purpose and belonging. As we learn to overcome earthly desires, we find that our lives become less cluttered by unnecessary wants. We start to value experiences over possessions, relationships over acquisitions. We find joy in the simple, the natural, and the spiritual. This test leads us to a deeper understanding of what it means to be truly fulfilled and content. Test 9. Embracing universal love. We now arrive at the pinnacle of our spiritual journey, the 9th and final divine test, embracing universal love. This test invites us to expand our hearts and minds beyond personal affections and to experience a love that transcends boundaries, a love that is inclusive, unconditional, and all-encompassing. Plato, the ancient Greek philosopher, explored the concept of universal love in his works. In his Symposium, he describes a ladder of love where one ascends from physical attraction to the love of beauty in all forms, and finally to the love of the good, which is universal and eternal. Plato's philosophy encourages us to move beyond individual desires and to connect with a higher, purer form of love. The Dalai Lama, a contemporary spiritual leader, also speaks profoundly about universal love. He teaches that true compassion is not limited to friends and family, but extends to all beings, including our enemies. This universal love is the foundation for a peaceful and harmonious world. It's about recognizing the interconnectedness of all life and responding with compassion and kindness. Mother Teresa's life and work also embody the essence of universal love. Her selfless service to the poorest of the poor in Kolkata was a testament to her belief in the dignity and worth of every human being. Her actions remind us that universal love is not just a feeling, but a call to action, a commitment to serve and uplift others, regardless of their background or circumstances. For those seeking to delve deeper into these concepts, books like The Art of Loving by Erich Fromm and Love, Freedom, Aloneness, The Koan of Relationships by Osho offer insightful explorations of love from both psychological and spiritual perspective. These works provide valuable guidance on understanding and cultivating universal love in our lives. Embracing universal love is perhaps the most transformative test of all. It challenges us to look beyond our personal concerns and to connect with a greater, more profound love. It's about opening our hearts to the world, seeing the divine in everyone and everything. As we embrace universal love, we find that our relationships become more meaningful, our lives more fulfilling. We start to act with greater compassion and understanding, creating ripples of positive change around us. This test is not just the culmination of our journey, but the beginning of a new way of being, one that has the power to transform not just our lives, but the world around us. As we draw our journey to a close, we reflect on the transformative power of the 9 divine tests we have traversed. Each test, from awakening to self-realization to embracing universal love, has guided us towards a more harmonious and enlightened life. Together, they form a path to the integrated self, a state of being where we are in tune with our deepest truths, living in harmony with the world around us. Passing these tests does not signify an end, but marks the beginning of a continuous journey of growth and discovery. They invite us to live more consciously, more compassionately, and more authentically. By embracing these challenges, we open ourselves to a life of deeper meaning, purpose, and joy. Now, we turn to you, our viewers. We encourage you to embark on your own journey of transformation. Reflect on these tests and how they resonate with your life. Are you ready to explore the depths of your being and embrace the full spectrum of your existence? We invite you to share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Which of these tests speaks most to you? How have you encountered and navigated these challenges in your own life? Your insights and stories are a valuable part of this collective journey of awakening. And if you found value in this journey, consider subscribing to our channel, Manifest Mystique. Here, we delve into the mysteries of the universe and the human spirit, exploring paths to personal and spiritual growth. Your subscription helps us continue this exploration and bring more enlightening content to you. Remember, the journey to the integrated self is unique for each of us. It's a path filled with wonder, challenges, and profound transformation. Embrace it with an open heart and mind, and let the journey unfold in its own beautiful, yet unexpected ways. Thank you, and God bless you.